NFL weekend, Hawk. Who you? Why?
I think Indy, but one of the reasons
in Kansas City.
I do. I think this is just a very difficult matchup for Kansas City's defense. I don't think they can stop Tyler Warner in the run game. One of the reasons why this game is so interesting, and honestly, this next 10 days in the NFL is so interesting. We could be looking realistically at a playoff without Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, which is absolutely insane to think about, but it's not unrealistic. Kansas City loses this weekend. Numbers-wise, it's almost impossible. We know that the Bengals and Joe Burrow have almost an impossible run.
Right.
We'll see what happens with Buffalo. I think it's a massively difficult game tonight on the road versus Houston.
Going to get to that one in a minute, yeah.
That division. And then Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore is just an unknown right now. The defense has been great, but the offense is very stagnant and not crisp right now. So all four of those quarterbacks that have been the spearhead of the playoffs for years could miss the playoffs.
There is actually a fascinating side to that. Because, Will, we have described the AFC as the murderer's row for the last half a generation, and those four are the reason why. Well, you got to get through Josh, and you got to get through Burrow, and you got to get through Mahomes, and you got to get through whichever one I didn't just say, Lamar Jackson. And I think Lamar Jackson will get there. I think the Ravens are going to win that division from behind, right? The alternative is Pittsburgh holds them off.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I think Lamar Jackson winds up getting
two of those four quarterbacks are going to be in the playoffs, minimum.
Two of those four?
Well, there's only three on the screen, but you included Allen.
Yeah. Allen's going to make it. I think Mahomes in the end will make it. I think
they're
Jackson's
not making it.
I think 3 of the 4. It's a good it's a good take, Dan. It's good TV in Week 12.
I don't know. If the Chiefs lose this Sunday, they're not getting the playoffs.
Mathematically, Shefty.
Again, this would be the Chiefs' third loss. Indy's a great story, and they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to win that division, I think. I can't imagine Kansas City losing a third straight game at home.
Yeah,
I just can't.
So what an opportunity for the Colts to turn. This is such a great story to, hey, we are a great football team. Which offensively, they're performing the best offense in the NFL. And Denver, you lay out a formula how to beat the Chiefs. You dare them to run the football because they can't run the football well. And then you got Sauce Gardner. It's like, take away Rashee Rice, dare the Chiefs offense to run the football and try to keep up with that Colts offense.
I'd also say that game last weekend wasn't as close as the final score of the Denver-Kansas City game.
Right.
Kansas City got 6 points off pass interferences. That was the best thing that did outside the shot to Thornton. So this offense just sputtered last week. I don't think that this is a blowout, but I do think it's a matchup, Indy coming off of a bye that favors them at least offensively.
Graziano said a smart thing here when he was here the other day. He said, we've become accustomed to, whenever things look questionable for Kansas City, Andy Reid schemes up something brilliant, Patrick does something brilliant, Chris Jones does something brilliant. And frankly, that hasn't happened yet this year. It doesn't mean it can't or won't. But Reid coming off a bye, that was supposed to be his spot. And instead of their offense looking like it was rejuvenated and everything, they look terrible against what is a great defense in Denver. And Mahomes just is not finding that magical play that no one else could possibly make that we are accustomed to him making.
And I do think that there are elements that, like, to your point, they've relied so heavily on talent with Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yes, Andy Reid, absolutely, but you had peak Travis Kelce. You had peak Tyreek Hill at a point. You had peak Patrick Mahomes. And I think now that they are evolving into a piece-led offense, after the bye, it's not as sexy as we've seen it previously, but they have to hit. I'm telling you, if they hit those second-level throws, those third-level throws,
use the word peak
it's completely different.
Use peak. Is Patrick past his peak? No.
Not Patrick,
not at all.
But
they still
some
don't
of the
have
others.
that juice.
Chris Jones may be in Travis Kelce.
I think the offense plays well this weekend. I think that what the defense can't match. I think it's a high-scoring football.
Is their offensive line good enough? I mean, Kansas City's. Look, Denver's defense has made a lot of offensive lines look questionable.
Yeah.
But there's still. I think there are still some questions. What are you making?
He's making fun of me. I think the offensive line is fine. Here's still the problem with Kansas City. Their offensive line doesn't necessarily get a ton of opportunities to maul you and to fit.
Because they don't run the ball.
Right.
They don't run the ball at all.
It's a lot of RPOs that become passes.
Yeah, Andy was talking about that the other day. All right, it's fascinating.
This is going to be a double-digit win. Danny Jones is going to hang 40 on these boys.
This is it. So we have been saying since the beginning of the year, the Colts are a great story. But if Daniel Jones, when he meets up with Patrick in the playoffs, is he going to be ready for that? Well, guess what? It's Patrick, who we're asking some questions about right now, Week 12, that absolutely has to win this game. You look at every single metric, playoff number. The Chiefs have to win this game if they're going to make the playoffs.
And who is the one guy that did beat him in the postseason. Who's the one guy that has had some success?
Lou
Anarumo, when he was the Bengals defensive coordinator.
Oh.
He's now in Indianapolis. He's now working for the Colts. They're coming off a bye. He's got extra time to get ready for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Again, Mahomes and the Chiefs have gotten the best of Lou Anarumo at times, but
Here's the deal. The Chiefs are 5-5 at this point in the season. Yes, you read that right. A .500 record for a team that's been the class of the AFC for years. In the latest chapter, they dropped a heartbreaker to the Denver Broncos, 22-19 on a last-second field goal. Penalties, missed opportunities, red zone failures. These aren't new themes for the Chiefs, but this year, they're showing their face more often. And for some analysts, the message is clear. What you're seeing is what you're going to get. But hold up, before we panic, let's dig into the context, the silver linings, and the real reasons we can believe. Because yes, this squad is still dangerous. What's gone wrong? Close games are biting them deep. The Chiefs are 0-5 in one-score games this season. That's alarming because in recent seasons, they dominated close finishes. Execution has slipped. Penalties, red zone inefficiency, lapses on special teams, all creeping in. Against Denver, 10 penalties, 69 yards. Some key pieces haven't quite been the difference makers right now. Interviewed analysts like Chris Sims went on record saying that aside from stars like Patrick Mahomes, they're not spotting blue-chip difference makers everywhere else. The leaderboard in the AFC West isn't forgiving. The Broncos have surged, and that puts even more pressure on the Chiefs to win now. So yeah, the mirror's showing some cracks, and the Chiefs themselves recognize it. Coach Andy Reid said the focus is on fixing the little things. Take care of today and tomorrow. Why we shouldn't count them out. First, let's never forget, this is still Patrick Mahomes leading the charge. He's elite, no question. Outside of the rookies and shakeups, you still build around a guy like Mahomes. Their point differential is better than the record suggests. In fact, their wins have come by large margins, and statistically, their performance predicts more wins than what the 5-5 record shows. The schedule ahead? It eases up. Yes, crucial games remain, but there are winnable matchups. The narrative isn't over. As one analytics piece put it, not too early to write them off. The odds are still hovering around a 50-50 chance to make the playoffs. Finally, dynasty culture. The Chiefs aren't used to missing out. That experience, that expectation, it matters. These are players and coaches who have been deep in the postseason. When the chips are down, you want that in your corner. Now here's the big picture. What we're seeing right now is a team in transition. Maybe more than that, a team recalibrating. The past seasons built a dynasty. The expectations soared. But this season, it's humbler. It's rougher. It demands adjustment. Let me be clear. I believe the Chiefs will lock in. I believe they will harness all those missed opportunities, flip the script on the one-score losses, and stamp their mark once again. Because the talent is there, the leadership is there, and the platform for a second-half push is open. But they must act now. Every game going forward demands urgency. It's not about whether they can win, it's how they win. Turnovers, penalties, red zone execution. These aren't footnotes anymore. They are defining moments. If Kansas City can dominate those areas, the playoffs are waiting. If not, they risk fading. The verdict for Chiefs Kingdom. So here's how I deliver it. Yes, the 5-5 record stings. Yes, they've lost games they used to win. But here's the truth bomb. This roster has championship DNA. That DNA isn't erased by a midseason slump. And when I look ahead, I see the Chiefs bouncing back. I see Mahomes with fire. I see Reid with composure. I see the floor still high enough to be feared. If you're a fan, I'm with you. Sit tight, stay loud, belt out your chants. This chapter isn't the epilogue. It's a setup. Chiefs Kingdom, we've ridden higher, we've fallen harder, and we've always come back. Expect that, demand that. All right, I want to hear from you. What's your